We're back. It's been a while. It's been a busy season for both of us, so we've been slacking on the videos. But it is about to be game week 25. We just got off a nice little double game week 34, 35 and 34. My bad. But no, we're excited to be back, and we're going to give you a rundown of what's happening in the Coast to Coast Fantasy Premier League. But first, this weekend, big match for the Poncho brothers, Newcastle versus Arsenal. Can't wait to put a dagger into the title hopes of the Gunners. We'll see what happens though.
Already felt a lot of daggers, so I'm not going to be devastated if we don't get this done. It's a much more important game for Newcastle. I think they're going to be very nervous. They are in uncharted territory. We'll see. It's at Newcastle. They're a great side. They're in form. Arsenal's Arsenal this year. We're a good team too. We'll see what happens.
We'll see. Other things to consider about this next week is that captain choice of Haaland may not be too obviously obvious because a few days later, the biggest game of Manchester City's season is against Madrid and is happening. So will he get rested? Will we see rotation? I'm interested to see if you're keeping your armband on Haaland. It could be risky because he could get 45. He could not play at all, which would be okay because the vice captain.
It's a super quick turnaround too. I mean, this game Saturday and then Tuesday, boom. I mean, the whole reason Haaland was brought in is to win the Champions League. They won the Premier League without him last season. They brought in the best striker in the world to win the Champions League. That's why he's there. If he gets hurt against Leeds, oh man, Pep would never forgive himself. I think he wants to tune him up a little bit still, but I can't see him playing more than 60 minutes at all. No way. 45 minutes is all he needs for a hat trick, though. So we'll see what happens.
That's what I was gonna say. I'll take 60 minutes Haaland over
60 minutes. I'm captaining him, but I think it very well could be 45. It could be 0. I mean, if they put him on the bench and they're up 4-0, why would you put Haaland on? Why? He's gonna be ready. He's starving for a Champions League trophy.
We'll see. Only time will tell. So choose your captain wisely. Could be a good differential this week, especially he just has a little cameo. Not often does he blank, but it could be next week. Planting some seeds, hopefully. I don't know what I'm going to do with my armband. All right, so let's dive into it. What's happening in the league? And we're wrapping up the season. So right now, there's money that's allocated places based off your performance in the league. So we're going to look at that and also look at the Dow team, what that payout's going to look like. So here's the standings. So right now, FPL American is on top, which means he would get all of the winnings. It is $164. He can buy a jersey with this and show us what he's bought. So he's on top right now. He's in the driver's seat, up by like 50 points, I think it is. Pongdom, Gunners Resurgence, and Barksnell round out the top 4. So they owe nothing to the league winner for being in the Champions League places. And then as you move down the table, you owe a little more and more. So $2, $3, $4, $5 for 5 through 8th place and so forth. And then the people in the cellar. So get a load of this guy, Tots and Che Moneyman. You guys owe $30 to the big winner. So he can purchase a jersey. And then on the other side of things, the Dow team is about right smack dab in the middle of the league. There is 9 teams that are performing better than the Dow. The Dow pays out $200 at the end of the season, so that means 20 bones is going to all of the teams here in the green. And also, the Dow will have a vote to see where $200 goes for charity. If you want to contribute to that donation for the league vote, you're welcome to. But it's just kind of a little fun thing we're adding to the league this year.
Yeah, a couple quick points here. The bottom dwellers down there. I mean, it's tight. Look at the work that Chicken Tiki Mo has done the last few weeks, going from the cellar up into mid-table. I mean, that's a couple meals right there these days, maybe one, depending where you go. I mean, you could get 2 Chipotles out of that if you do your team for 2 weeks. So, Todd's Che Moneyman, get a load of this guy. If you're listening, if you do your team like 2 or 3 weeks, you might get up there and go from 30 bones out to 10 out. But yeah, with the Dow team, super exciting stuff there. That $20 to everyone could change pretty quick if the Dow team catches fire or if more people start beating the Dow. So A lot of exciting stuff all around. Big last 4 weeks of FPL, and we shall see. And then Richard, if he does win, which, I mean, let's be honest, it's looking likely. We'll be very interested to see what jersey he gets. I wouldn't want to wear any of that Spurs shit on myself. I don't think you should support them for that. Maybe go a USA jersey. I don't know. That's going to be an interesting one. But we'll see if he wins. There's hope. It's slim, 50 points.
He might go with a Kane United jersey.
Oh, wow. Yeah, if we waited out long enough, that could happen.
All right. Well, we'll see what happens with that. Moving on, speaking of the Dow team, let's see how it's looking this week. So here it is. It's a good-looking team this week. We've been in there making some proposals, not recommending many changes. The change that we're looking into is Gabriel for Estupinian, and we think we should use the wild card next week. Maybe not this week because the team looks good still. But yeah, the wild card chip is still in play. So that's kind of the plans for the Dow team. See if we can have it pass up a little more people to make that payout bigger. Where am I going here? I wanted to show you
Dow proposals, which I can pull that up too.
Yeah, I got it up.
Yeah, so I mean, you guys feel free to jump in, make proposals again too. Voting as well for captains as well as team selection. We're going to also put in a proposal if it's not already in there, and anyone can put in their proposals, by the way, once you're in. For Kepa starting over, I believe who the Dow team have in, someone not favorable for this week. So just little tweaks there, and then big wild card proposal coming from myself, probably Logan too, next week for sure, because there's a lot of ground that could be made up with that.
All right, so here I'm putting in a selection idea right now. You can see what it looks like. It's not too hard. Really, the hardest thing is getting the crypto wallet, and then I can send you the NFT. But yeah, moving on, Austin, if you want to start to share screen and show us what your team's looking like for next week, we'll do your team, my team, and then we'll wrap this up.
Yeah, boom. Here's my team. This is last week. Just want to come on here real quick and cry about Kevin De Bruyne. Absolute letdown. Had him in there. He's gone now. So we go to my next team. This is what I have currently. I put the armband on Kane today. Let's be honest, probably not going to keep it there. Would be a cool differential. Not many people have them. Mo is also a good option. I've been changing my captain last second for a while now. I will say Salah did beat Haaland last week. I know Shotty did it. Only beat him by 2 points. Turned into 4 with the armband, though. Triple captainers could have got an extra 6. So Haaland can be beaten. Something to keep in mind, especially with potential rotation. So who knows? But this is what I'm looking like now. Tim Ream and Andres, both season-ending injuries, which definitely put a damper in my squad. Makes a lot of difficulties for moving things around, especially when I only have 1 free transfer. So we'll see what happens here. I have 2 Arsenal boys. I think they could do some damage. Going to be tough at Newcastle, but looking through the rest of the season, some good fixtures. Arsenal can score on anyone. But yeah, I'd love to have a wild card still or something, but this is the team I have. That's what I'm going with for now.
Got what you got. All right. I think it looks pretty good. I'll talk about mine real quick, and then we'll wrap up the vid.
And a special shout out to Mr. Santel with a monster week this past week. A lot of chips flew around. Triple captainers. I mean, you want more from Haaland, of course, but he did the business. He got some points there. Bench boost from Shotty did really well with Eze, and then I believe goalkeeper return as well. So there was a lot of good power-ups, a lot of good scores around this past week. But as expected, high-caliber league, double game week. So let's see what we have cooking for Logan's team this week.
All right. I think the team looks pretty good. Right now, the captain armband is on Haaland. I am going to make a transfer after we send this video out. What I am thinking about is just getting another double game weeker in. I have 3 Brighton players in. They double twice in the next 2 game weeks, which is big. I have Rashford. I have Trent and Salah. They double in this season too. So I want to get either more Man U blood another city attacker in. It's probably going to be a city attacker for me. Could take a gamble. I think I have enough in the bank to go Solanke to Alvarez, or I could do Martinelli to Mahrez or something like that. So those are the options I'm deciding between for my transfer this week. I'm not sure what I'm going to do, but trying to have a strong finish to the season so I can get up in those Europa League places in our league. It hasn't gone for me well this season. I mean, I transferred Madison in. He did dog crap for the whole time I had him, and then I dropped him.
And armband. Armband in the double game week. What was it? 4 points total. Absolute worst things in FPL to happen. And then you dropped him. And after you dropped him, I think he started returning.
Yep, he just started assisting every game, so that was cool. Hasn't been my year. I think that's the point of it. But hey, here's the live table. Richard is in the driver's seat. Some pretty crazy things would have to happen for him to get passed up because his team looks great, and I don't think that's going to change. He's the piano man. He knows his way around the fantasy prim. So ponged him. He's gone with a lot of differentials lately. So shout out to Shadi for being different and charging up the table. Making bold decisions. You're hanging around right behind Shadi. I know that's a fun little rivalry there too. Barksonal, he's kind of slowed down that hot streak he had. And then the middle of the table is pretty tight here. So I'm looking to jump up from 8th to hopefully 5th or 6th by the end of the season. But only time will tell there. And we got the cellar dwellers. Chick and Tiki Mo climbed out of the cellar, but we still got a few cellar people down there. You guys, as of now, owe $30. So maybe do your team, use your chips if you haven't yet, and let's see what happens.
And last note on some pain points in FPL. Do me a favor, click into Space Jammers real quick, Log. This guy, unlucky week, to tell you what. You'd think that maybe Odegaard was going to sub in, right? Look at Colwell. I don't know why. I mean, he maybe fell in love with the doubles, right? Click into the 0 right there on him, and you can see this one's a little tougher to see. Click that 0 logo.
Wait.
It doesn't matter. You can see either way. But see the last game. He subbed on against Man U. He didn't play against Wolves, and I didn't think he was going to play against Man U. Subbed on for 15 minutes, got a yellow straight away, and ultimately the second step on the pitch, Odegaard was not coming in with his 15-point masterclass. Not to mention Elise 5, Ake 15. Tough one. You hate to see it. Sorry, Space Jammers. Brian doesn't even watch this all the way here, but anyone who does, feel for that man because that hurts.
That's tough. I mean, he's putting together a better campaign than he usually does. So big hats off to the Space Jammers.
We're speaking about former champ right now. I mean, give some respect to Mr. Space Jammers. He did win with Harry Kane as his talisman 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, but, I mean, the level has increased since then.
It has. It definitely has.
All across. A lot of good FPL players in the league right now. So, all right, guys, we're gonna wrap it up there. But thanks for listening. We are coming to the end of it. Stay strong. I know I got fantasy fatigue, that's for sure, but just got to finish it out. Keep putting the squad out there, and may the fantasy gods be in your favor.
Good luck. Cheers.